Hey everyone, I'm Batekia and welcome to this week's video. As an artist, I am constantly learning. As I create my artwork, it's nearly impossible to know how to draw everything perfectly from memory. And that's why we use references. It can be photos that we take online, it could be photos that we took ourselves, or even using other artists' artwork. I'm going to be showing you how to use these references the right way, the way artists use them. I use references nearly every time I create an illustration. I don't want to get too technical, but I do have 4 basic steps that I use whenever I start a new piece. These steps are for making the overall concept of the piece. The manner of how often or how exactly I use them are quite loose, but for many artists who don't know where to start, I figured I'd organize my process a bit for you. Step 1 is have an idea. For any artwork, you want to know what you're drawing. If you're trying to make a complete finished piece, that is, it's the same for every piece. Brainstorm and get an idea of what you're wanting to draw. Step 2 is to look for the references we're going to use. And once you have that idea, it's time to look for the reference. My go-to place is Pinterest, and I'm looking for images that have the main components of the illustration. And as I go along with the piece, if I feel like I need more references, I can add more to my list. Now, for all the references that I've decided on using, and they're actually these images right here. Now that I have the references, it's time for the next step. Make thumbnail sketches. This step is important because we want to finalize the overall concept first, so halfway through the drawing, we're not hating it, and or finishing it and not liking the final product at all. And step number 4, starting the rough sketch / cleaning up the sketch. Now that I've decided on my thumbnail, it's time to stretch it out to fit the canvas and start sketching out the details. Some artists prefer to start with the rough sketch completely before rendering. For me, I don't like that. I liked my sketch to be cleaned up so I can see all the details, so when I'm rendering, I just focus on what colors go where. This is also your time to add the base colors and mess around with the color scheme, with the effects, with lighting, with everything. Just gonna pop in here and say, if you like my videos and you want to see more art related content, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below what you think so far. Or save your comment for later, or comment twice. It's up to you. Do what you want. Anyways, back to the video. Now that I have the idea, the concept, and the sketch finished, it's time for the fun part, rendering. Now for this video, we're focusing on using the references to guide us in this piece. So instead of showing you a speed paint of my process completely all finished, I'm going to be showing you where I used the specific references I picked. For cleaning up the sketch, I used this reference. It's for the pose and the positioning of the character overall. I like the composition of this piece, so I used it for my own piece. I also used this reference for the general color or in the mood of the piece. It also has blues, turquoises, violets, and even a bit of red oranges that I used to help me map out my actual piece itself. For this reference, I mainly used it for the shirt, how it looked, and I liked the shirt being tucked in but still very baggy, so that's what I used it for. And for my next reference, this one, I saved this image to help me render the hair, as well as pick a few colors to help make the skin pop out a bit more, like this hint of red orange and pinks on the edge of the highlights. I did that the same for my piece. For rendering the shirt, I wanted to have some texture, so I used this image to reference on how to render it. The cuffs being more detailed, the creases on the armpits, the mixture of soft and hard brushes, etc. And for the water, I actually used a reference from an art book that I own. The art book is called Moments, and it's by the artist named Macroon K. The splashes, the reflections, and the vibrance of the water from this piece. And also how the water curves on the canvas. I mimicked that on mine as well. And with that, those are all the references I used, and all of them combined made this piece. Now let's have a side-by-side of the references next to the final piece. I hope this video encourages you and teaches you how to use references the artist's way. I also really hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. Don't be afraid to franken multiple images together to make a cohesive piece. That's how artists are meant to use them. Let me know what you thought of the final piece in the comments below. Trust me when I say I look forward to replying to all of the comments every single time I upload. So let your thoughts be known. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye now.